Hello again, Kadima back with one more boss guide video for Lies of P, this time fighting the second version of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood after they have invaded the hotel. Now, there's no difference between this fight and the first fight in terms of difficulty, to be honest. The only thing here is that instead of fighting the eldest brother and then each of the brothers joins him separately to aid him in combat, this time around you just fight all three brothers until only one is left and the eldest brother will join them. Now, the strategy here, and at least it works for me, is to focus all of your initial damage on the same brother so you can get rid of him as quickly as possible. I like to get rid of the guy with the spear just because he's the most annoying and he's the one that has a longer reach with his weapon. Now, if you get rid of him first, there's a little bit of an advantage there. Again, considering these guys are humans, make sure you've got the amulet that boosts the damage to humans and also an acid weapon. In this case, I like to use the acid spear, as you probably know by now. Now, in this case, because I wanted a little bit more damage, I did change the handle to a handle that scales better with motivity. But I actually did regret doing so because it wasn't doing much more damage, to be honest, and it was just a much slower version of the same thing, and I rather have fast R1s that do a little bit less damage than having slower R1s that do high damage. And that is my approach on pretty much any Souls-like game. I would rather have a fast weapon that does little damage than having a big weapon that does a lot of damage but it's very slow, because it being very slow, you get terribly exposed to your enemies. In this case, if you're fighting three guys at the same time, and that was my struggle with this boss fight, as you can see in my footage here, is that they kept interrupting me. I kept not landing any hits because my weapon does hit hard, but I don't hit because I get interrupted. In any case, good strategy as usual, considering these are humans, is to just get backstabs out of all of them. The other thing is, as soon as you finish eliminating the first of the three brothers, keep in mind that you don't want to eliminate the second brother straight away. You want to do damage to both of them as much as possible before you actually eliminate one of them, because the moment that you kill one of the last two, the elder brother will spawn and your fight will be a little bit harder than it needs to be. So if you evenly do damage to both these guys, of course focusing on one more than the other, like I'm doing here with the Battle Maniac, you will have an easier time fighting this boss. Now, unfortunately, this guy is a bit of a pain in the ass. The spear wasn't doing that much damage, so it was taking a lot more than it needed to. But ultimately speaking, the job gets done. Unfortunately, it just became harder than it needed to be because of my poor choice of weapon. So again, I recommend using something with acid and something that is fast hitting, not the massive spear that I decided to come up with. Come with the normal version of the acid spear and you'll be good to go. Now, I had to fish some more backstabs because I was getting to the point that I couldn't stand these two bullying me together at the same time, and I wanted to get rid of one of them. The brother decided to give me some space, so I focused my attention on the girl to even the scales and get some damage. But the moment that I get a backstab, he decides to interrupt me and try to bully me as well. Now, I managed to land a few more hits. Again, I can't stress how foolish it was of me to backstab that guy and get rid of him, because then I was stuck with this girl while the elder brother decided to show up. which I wasn't planning to. I wanted the eldest of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood to only come the moment I was finished with both of them, because that will make your life much easier. Now, one thing that I want to stress here is once the elder brother joins, you can use the obstacles in the room to try to keep him away from you while you finish the little brothers and sister. Try to keep your distance because he will just get in the way and you don't want to be interrupted. And then just keep up the pressure to the little one while trying to stay away from the big guy. Now, once you get rid of the little one, as I am just about to, as soon as the elder brother decides to give me just enough room. Now, the moment you get rid of her, this is when you are going to play games with the big brother and the obstacle course that is in the middle of this platform. As you can see, I'm using those bags to prevent him from getting too close to me while I can still hit him with the spear. This is the moment that having a long range weapon can help you. However, it doesn't necessarily have to be a long range weapon. You can do this cleverly if you play with the objects in the middle of the room in a way that it will lead this guy to miss pretty much every single one of its hits. And when he does, all you have to do is take the time to do some damage with the R1s and maybe get a charged R2 if you can. Now, when he does his fury attacks, try to do the perfect guard. When he does the floor waves, just get behind the object and it will give you protection from the hit, so you will not get hit by those waves that he casts that spread through the floor. Now, his smashing attacks are, as in the first one, easy to a perfect guard, as you just saw me doing there. This one is also easy to perfect guard, but he caught me in the middle of my roll. When he does this combination, just let him go for it. You can perfect guard the last hit if you want. In this case, I was using the acid on my spear for that little boost of damage, but here we go. There goes the wave, and then he always does a fury attack after that, which gives you just enough time to land a charge R2 if you don't mess around like I did. Again, I got greedy with getting the fatal strike because he was staggered enough for me to get the fatal strike. I got a bit greedy and I ended up making a few mistakes. Now, back to our attention. Let him do that combination and then do the R2. I actually managed to get a second R2, but then don't go for the fatal strike straight away because he always does this combo and a wave. So let him do that first, get behind cover, and then land the fatal strike. And keep in mind the fatal strike needs to be on the back side. There will be no option to do it on his face. Now, here he comes again. I managed to break his sword, as you can see, with a perfect guard using my shield. That significantly impacts the amount of damage that he will be doing to me, which is good because it makes me feel a bit safer, and it's okay. As you saw, he just hit me and it barely did any damage, not that the weapon is broken. Also, the reach and the range will be severely impacted, so the guy can barely even get close to me. In this case, the fight is nearly coming to an end. I'm just playing safe because I don't want to screw up and have to start over again. I like to keep that post cell as an option. As you saw, he did the wave. I wait for him to come with a fury attack, and then I do a charge R2. I let him do the whole combo, and then I guard for another perfect guard. I do another charge R2, and I get him for the fatal strike. Keep in mind, he will always do that combination. The moment he fires the wave, that's when you go reach his back and land that fatal strike. Job done. I hope you guys enjoyed this
this guide, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Cheerio!